You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Wow.
He spilled. Welcome to Movie Baiters with the Farx brothers. I'm Kyle.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Nick.
He spilled.
On camera, though.
Yeah, you're right.
It never happened.
Again, 50 votes or no Nick. You'll never see Nick unless we get 50 votes. And this week we're here with, you say it very specifically, Danna Gilbertson.
Danna Gilbertson.
Not how I was listening to an interview where someone said it wrong. I won't say who it was. It was you, Palachuk, you know. But it's Danna. And
yes.
I didn't know to screw up your name till I heard it screwed up. And then that was on my mind since I've heard that hours ago in re-listening to that interview. The first question is, do you ask it now or do I ask it?
You used to ask it.
Okay, I still ask, you're a multi-hyphenate. What are your different hyphenates? You're a writer, you're a director, you're an actor, you're a model. What are the things in order of importance to you? Not necessarily in order of what you do.
Okay, perfect. Importance, I would say my first love and the part that I cherish the most still, I think, is writing. After that, it would be, I would say, directing. And then I've started getting to acting a little bit more. So that would probably take number 3. Assistant director, I'll put next, just because I know I have a lot of skill for it, but I've kind of stepped down from that role. And then last, you mentioned model. It's been a hot minute since I've done any of that, but I feel like it goes toe-to-toe with acting just a smidge. But so I'd put that one last.
Didn't you?
Probably.
Didn't you work at a production company, or you still work at a production company? I don't know offhand.
I kind of did a little. So I have my own production company.
How do you say it? I was trying. It's. So, you want to hear me say it wrong?
Sure.
Cirsium
That
wildflower?
was pretty close. It's Cirsium, yeah.
Oh, it is Cirsium.
Cirsium, yep.
Is that because of Cersei on Game of Thrones?
No, it's Cirsium is the scientific name for the thistle, which is Scotland's flower.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And I went on a trip to Scotland. Super magical there. It's great. It's beautiful. They have a lot of castles, a lot of natural land, and a lot of thistles. And I like wildflowers in general. So Scotland and wildflowers led to the thistle.
Are you
Cirsium.
Scottish? We have to ask now.
No, I'm not Scottish.
Okay.
I wish I was.
Really? As long as you're not Irish. That's all
that's what I was
care
going to
about.
say.
No,
Yeah.
not Irish.
Yeah.
I'm all German, plus a little bit of Norwegian,
Oh,
actually.
I mean, you're in the northern part of the country, so Norwegian is. There's a lot of those, specifically in the Minnesota. We're all upper
Yes.
Midwest filmmakers.
Yep.
So you're are you still sometimes working as a filmmaker in your professional life?
I would say yes. I've stepped back pretty recently, only because, so Cirsium, the film production company, I'm shifting to be more of Cirsium, the like creative collective type of company, because I've done Porchlight Pages, which is for screenwriters can have their scripts read. And then I hosted a writing retreat last fall, no, 2 falls ago. And so I found that working with others and supporting other people's projects just bring me a little bit more joy, and I've really enjoyed doing that. So this is also brand new. I'm starting to talk about it. Cirsium's new shift is I'm hoping to get a brick and mortar that is kind of a place where, kind of like how people will go to a coffee shop to work, you can come here to work on your writing, your editing, and just be intentionally around other creatives that are doing their work. And then have conference rooms that you can rent to do like writing workshops, maybe review a rough cut together, production meetings.
That sounds like Allison Guessu's. Do you know Allison Guessu?
No.
Oh, I will.
Yeah,
I will
connect me with
connect you
them.
after this. Because she's doing something very similar right now. It's like, I don't want to call it "We Work for Filmmakers," but that's what you're describing sounds like. Or
A little bit,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Less like hire me and more just like I want to work on my script, not in my house and in a place where I can maybe exist in this creative ether. That's kind of the goal, is like be around other creators that are maybe at the same level you are, and just not necessarily network, but you can work on your project around them.
So you held a writer's retreat. I guess I should ask first about Porchlight, and then I'm going to ask about, because I can't imagine like these are my fake brothers, and I can't imagine asking.
Wow.
It's been a struggle to get them to go, okay, we're gonna go somewhere and make something. So just saying, hey,
Has
we're
it been
gonna
a struggle?
go together and like write together.
Yeah.
We make time for that, and that works because we know, okay,
you
we have to
should.
have this open-ended time that we're gonna be
Yes.
working till
Wow.
we can't anymore. What?
Just calling us out, huh?
Calling you out on what? I'm just saying it's like a dude thing,
write.
not to like, you know.
We write. We don't need to go somewhere to write. I don't know.
But so you know what? When we get to that part of the question, I
Yeah.
hope you were very inquisitive with our good friend and guest Danna. Porchlight stories? Porchlight. What do you call it? Porchlight pages.
Porchlight Pages is
Yes.
what I call it. It was born from, I experienced table reads very late in my writing career. I went to Catalyst 2023.
Okay.
And I was there to represent Hidden Falls, and I went to go watch. They did table reads of people's scripts, and they had actual actors there that would sit around the table. And I hadn't seen that before, and I loved watching it. And then they'd read it, and so it comes to life a little bit, and then they would get feedback on that. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. And then I took a writing class through Film North after that, and we kind of did a similar thing where there were 6 of us, but we would send in a couple pages, we'd table read it out loud, and then give feedback on it. And it was just, as a writer, it was immensely helpful, probably the most helpful feedback and experiences I've ever had to better my writing was to hear it out loud and then have people discuss it with me. And so I wanted to provide more of that, and there's the Screenwriters Workshop. They do that. They read whole feature-length scripts, and they have a membership model that qualifies you for that. But I just wanted something that's easy to access. It's free. It's just for like send in a couple pages. I wanted to provide that similar experience, and I've always been passionate about hospitality, kind of making you feel like you're visiting my home. That's the kind of experiences I want to make. So I married the two. So I did the table reads plus providing some sort of food for you or something like that. And just like, I don't know, a really cool laid back way for you to get your pages read and then get feedback on it from people that are also in that community.
When's the last time you did one of these?
A while. I think the last one was, it's been at least a year, maybe a little over a year since I've done it.
My brother has a lot of questions about writers' retreats. And
Yeah.
How do you think to have one, and then what do you do while you're there? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I was asking about writer's block. I mean, do you feel like people have writer's block at these retreats at all?
It's not my phone. It's not my phone.
I know it's not
really
mine. I put it on silent before I sat down. For the writer's block question, yes, I do get writer's block. And I'm kind of in one right now. I have a couple projects I wish I had the inspiration to really work on right now. And writer's block is really interesting because there's always, people say there's tools to kind of combat it. I'm not as great as actually executing those tools. The most helpful one that I learned was in 8th grade. I went to a writing camp, and the teacher there mentioned that if you run into writer's block, then you just write whatever, kind of basically journaling, I guess, but on the page that you're trying to write on. Because the biggest obstacle that can lead to writer's block, he said, is just when you're faced with that empty page, or when you're faced with like, you're wanting to fill space and you just aren't sure how to fill the space. But if you get your brain to at least start filling the space, then that helps get ideas flowing. And I've experienced a little bit of success with that. So,
Yeah, try that next time.
yeah.
Deadlines and people relying on me to send them something is what I use to motivate myself.
That was another good one. I haven't experienced that, so I can't vouch on that one, but I'm sure that does help.
Hey, I said I'd get this to you by this time. If I don't,
Do you feel it's good though? If you have to meet a deadline.
Was the thing I got to you on a well, not you, but Brandon last week on a deadline, was it good? I don't think about. I know it's going to get rewritten. I think about this is a first draft.
Yeah, it has to be punched up.
Yes,
sure.
I know I have to get through a first draft to get to a next draft.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that first draft is sometimes, well, I take that back. I used to say the first draft was the hardest battle. in my recent experiences, the second draft has been the hardest battle for me. Because it's when you start revising and you cut things, maybe add things, and then you realize now after your first draft that the original story you intended to tell is now maybe a little bit different. I find I struggle most with second drafts lately.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, why are you looking at
I can
Nick?
relate. That's why I'm going like, not just like I'm going because like.
What is the hardest draft? The next one?
Sure. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Wait, hold on, Nick. You're off camera. What are you eating goosey for?
I don't know. Because everyone else has one, and I'm a sheep.
I bring a
Yeah,
cup. I bring a cup to Nick's house now just because I want my specific cup experience.
I have one of your
Those
cups
people.
in my
You're gonna turn it
dishwasher.
away, yeah.
They don't even call it this anymore. That movie
I know
theater
what it
that
is.
was.
Oh, that was the one in my dishwasher. You found it. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
I washed it for you.
No, this one I brought. Will you have one of mine here?
Oh, then it's still in the dishwasher.
Oh, sweet. He has one of my cups. See how often I'm here? We can
Well,
even tell
well.
you who the bartender at this bar is because we talked to her last night.
Who is it?
Stephanie. She's come up
Shout
on the
out.
show before.
Okay.
Yes, and she's watched segments of the show before. It's great.
Oh, great.
Is she
Good.
gonna be on the show at all?
We should ask Stephanie, the
Yeah.
movie theater bartender, to be on the show. I think she would come, and we know she likes movies. So that'd be pretty. Sorry, thank you.
that's okay,
There's a later part of this where I'm going to ask you for a rec for a
Okay.
future guest. You don't know Stephanie, so you couldn't have recommended
Maybe
her.
Stephanie.
So you got recent projects? What are those? And I'm still going to come back to this retreat.
Yes. Recent projects probably being, I've finished Valinor the pilot, which we had a big screening for that. My more recent projects are...
You wrote that?
I helped edit it.
Okay.
Bronson wrote most of it, but I helped edit it. And then my current writing projects, I have a period drama that's pretty close to... it's always nerve-wracking to say production ready, but it's the one that I have closest to, like, if people were to look at it and say, like, hey, I'd like to make this, I feel pretty confident about that.
Why is that?
Just because it's a couple drafts in. I feel like it's pretty solid. It's all minor changes now at this point, but it's, I don't know, it's a good one. It's a, my pitch for it is it's Pride and Prejudice meets historic Minnesota, South Dakota. So same vibes, but more traveling on the frontier type of story. It's really cute. It's really whimsical. It's nice.
What you
That's
look
a
at
good
me?
one.
Because you're going to ask the question I was thinking of.
No, I wasn't
What's the
thinking.
log line?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
You weren't thinking? Oh,
no, I was
man.
thinking like, why North Dakota? Or is it like a road trip movie, or is it
It's
like they're traveling a bunch?
a little bit. So the protagonist, Naomi, she's a farm girl, but she's, due to the time, she's getting a little old to be unmarried. So at her 20th birthday,
Their old is 20.
Wait, what period is this?
it takes place, great question, clarification question. It takes place in like 1900. 1889, 1899.
This could be a sequel to 1883. You should send it to Taylor Sherry.
Maybe I should. So she's turning 20 years old, and on her birthday, her dad invites a family friend, like it's a family they're all friends with, over. And they have two sons. One's already married. The one, we presume they've grown up together, so they're friends. But tonight he's acting a little weird, and it's because the dad announces that he's basically promised her to him, and then she freaks out because she's bored with her current farm life. And so then to marry into another farm family, it kind of dooms her to this farm life she's really bored of. So she escapes to reading. At the same time, she meets another man named Arthur, which is our romantic B plot, that he's traveling on the frontier to go settle further into the Dakotas. So after this proposal, she basically runs away to join them to settle in the Dakotas, and we'll discover what exactly leads to a wondrous, adventurous life, if it's your circumstances or the people you're with.
Oh, that's interesting.
And spoiler, it's the people you're with is what she
Right.
means. But
I can attest to that.
Yeah, thanks.
So, writer's retreat.
Yes.
How did you decide? I'm going to ask my friends to go. Where was it? How long does one do one of these for?
that's a great question. So
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a great asker. The idea started, it was originally formulated, Wes Johnson and I, really good friends.
He's been on the show.
Yes, I've heard that. So he and I first originally had the idea for it years ago, and then more recently, right before we planned it, I was talking about it with Krista Gullickson, or Krista Rose, and
Use her stage
yeah, I
name.
know.
Jeez.
I know I
Come on,
skirted
show,
real fast.
Krista. Come on.
And she said, "That's a great idea. We should actually do that." And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah." And so then we just started planning more. It was total guinea pig type of writer's retreat because it was more like we booked a place, like a resort type of place. So we went to Brian Sams's resort up north. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name exactly at this moment. Campfire Bay.
Oh,
it's called
hey.
Campfire Bay Resort. But it's really nice. And so I just booked enough space for us all to stay there and asked like 8 people that I trusted to guinea pig this with. They all said yes and said, here's what I'd like from you cost-wise to help cover food and the lodging. And we did, I think we did, I think we just did a Friday evening to Sunday afternoon. It was either that or that must have been what we did.
Did you plan activities throughout? Like, did you guys go hiking or something?
Loosely.
All right.
Most of the time was spent allowing people to write and work on their projects because that was the goal. But so the Saturday morning, our full day there, I did do a writing exercise in the morning to try and get the creative wheels turning and then to kind of let people meet each other a little bit. So we did like a partner writing activity. I printed pictures of a bunch of really crazy shoes because one of my strategies to create characters is I start at the shoes and then work my way up because what they wear can kind of tell a lot about them. So we kind of did that as an activity, so like really crazy shoes, like neon colored, really crazy stuff. So then each person received a shoe, they created a character, then we partnered up and wrote a scene including the 2 characters. But that was kind of the only thing I planned. And we otherwise just spent time writing, which was cool.
So were they all writing something differently or separately? I mean,
in the general writing time, everybody just brought whatever writing project they had going on at the time.
Nice.
Did everyone set a goal of, I need to do this much writing this weekend?
We did do that, yeah. That was part of the night before, as we said, we asked what everybody's goal was. I don't think we checked in necessarily at the end. Just got in the swoop of like moving out, but we did ask.
There's a horror movie there. A bunch of writers go up to a cabin and they don't get to leave until they finish their writing.
Let's talk about deadlines and...
Yeah, here's your deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kill them with a pen.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely... Would you rather be killed with a pen or what a different type of writing implement? Dealer's choice on
Like
writing.
what, a piece of paper?
I will say pen, but
Paper
the
cut to
quill
death.
type.
Yeah, okay.
It might as well be a little classy and a little stylish.
You're like a fantasy person, right? Is it fair to say this? This is where your interest area lies and what you like to write about?
Yep.
So writing a period drama, that's not exactly fantasy. Bridge that gap for me.
Yeah, it definitely was a new genre that I normally didn't write in. Fantasy can be a period, but there's more flexibility, I feel like, involved, whereas period I had to do a lot more research. And to bridge the gap as to why I wrote it, I more so just had the character idea first, and then she just existed in that time period, so I knew I needed to write it there. I also really wanted something, like I said, the Pride and Prejudice feel, but in a place that was a little bit more familiar, like Minnesota. I didn't feel like there were a lot of period pieces in Minnesota, and that was maybe part of the motivator. But that's I don't have a cool story for that. That's just kind of how it happened.
What are your latest writing habits? Like, when do you typically write?
Not a lot lately, but when I do, I do a lot of it at night, or I like to do early in the morning as well.
How early is early?
I like to be up by 5:30.
Wow,
What the
that's
hell?
really early.
When do you go to bed?
10 o'clock at the latest, usually 10 or 10:30.
Okay, so that's like 7 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're this tall, and you get
What
that
does
amount
tall
of
have to
sleep?
do with sleep?
Well,
What?
you grow more
because
in
I
your
woke
sleep,
up like this.
until you're like 26.
You grow more when you sleep. All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's.
I guess I didn't sleep a bunch.
Google it on your own, folks. But have you always been writing that early? Because you've been writing since you were like a high school student.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, I guess not always that early in the morning. It's more recently in my mature years that I've started writing in the morning, just because I like to be up and I like to take my morning slow, start with some time in the Word, and then I use that to just kind of flow into whatever writing project I have going on.
You mean the Bible, right? When you said the Word,
Yes.
just for I know what you meant,
The
but
Bible?
they didn't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I pick up on those little hints sometimes.
Yeah,
It's fun to know the lingo and be like,
Yeah,
oh. One of the topics that comes up on the show is some people are not out of the closet Christians and others are. And you don't have to have an opinion on this, but from the cornucopia, I would say, of Christians being comfortable coming out of the closet as Christians and using that wording intentionally because...
On this show specifically? Mm-hmm. I don't remember anybody.
You barely listen to the show, even
Am
though
I the first one?
No,
Just kidding.
no. The examples
edit the
were
show.
like people saying, "Oh, I'm uncomfortable saying I'm a Christian in the arts because there's a lot of people who are gay, and obviously Christians have been not us specifically that I'm aware of, but Christians as Christian Inc. has been pretty anti-gay, and so in a more accepting, open." There's like, oh, well, you're the oppressor by being your religion was my oppressor, and you don't want to communicate that to somebody is why. Some people.
I don't remember that.
Sorry, I didn't mean for this to be a
it's
thing.
okay.
You said
It's
the
all right.
word.
I'm
but-
comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Oh, but we were talking. What? She didn't come out as Christian though.
Who?
Per se.
Well, I remember. I don't know. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have called it that, but
Who are we talking about?
what you specifically were talking about. Kirk was wondering.
Which guest?
Yeah. And
But you can go and look at interviews and figure
I was
out which
saying,
one.
I was saying it felt
I was
like
also saying-
Alex Rumsey was you touched on that.
Oh
like
yeah,
being-
I mean Alex is cool about. We had a
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
where
yeah.
there was a religious connotation to the
Mother?
movie. I don't. Well, that's a spoiler.
What?
Okay.
How's that
Have
spoiler?
you heard of the movie Mother? Exclamation point.
Oh.
Heard of it. I haven't seen it, but
Alright.
I've heard of it.
It's a spoiler to say there is a strong religious connotation to the movie to some
Okay.
degree. I think you could still watch it with that, knowing that.
Okay.
And you would have a different experience than Alex had, which is, oh, this is about the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's like a movie at a house with two people.
What
So
genre is it?
I would call it a thriller.
Okay.
It's like a psychological thriller because it's unclear how much of this is the perception of the protagonist, Jennifer Lawrence, and how much of this is actually happening in her reality.
Gotcha.
And then at a certain point, it escalates to where like this can't be a fantasy anymore. But the relationship between their reality and ours is very. It's Darren Aronofsky who made Requiem for a Dream.
Okay.
It's a drug movie. I assume you've seen it because you're a good kid, and I've always found you to be, above board. He's seen Requiem for a Dream.
I have not.
I own Requiem for a Dream. Because, I don't know. What's the last movie you saw in a movie theater? It's one of my favorite questions, just ask randomly of people.
Oh, what was it? It was probably Zootopia 2.
Really?
Yeah.
The #1 movie from last year, 2025, domestically. Did you know that? It
It
passed
was
Minecraft.
very successful. Yeah.
Yes. Did you like it better than Zootopia 1?
I usually hesitate to say that after only seeing it once, but it was very good, and probably the best movie I feel like I've seen in a while.
Okay. Have you seen Chinatown?
No.
Why specifically Chinatown?
Well, because it's very similar to the movie.
Zootopia 2?
Yeah.
Wow, all right. Give me the log line for Chinatown. Yeah, what?
What? No, I think a lot of people who've seen both would go. I mean, there isn't the disgusting elements of Chinatown that are revealed at the end of the movie.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm talking about because you should find that out
Watch
on your
it?
own.
Alright.
But this kind of like Mother. Since you
Alright.
talked about the Christian thing, I was going to ask you, are you excited for Chronicles of Narnia? Because in one of your interviews, you mentioned Chronicles of Narnia, and I was like, oh, it must be very exciting to you that Greta Gerwig, a writer-director, is making one of your favorite book series.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings.
Ooh.
Mostly because I'm a little loyalist to when things are made originally. So the movies that are already out,
The BBC ones?
I have seen those actually.
Yeah.
But no, when I could appreciate movies, I saw the Disney. Are they by Disney?
They went from
idea.
Disney to Fox, back to Disney because
Okay.
Disney bought Fox.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so those have a little bit more of my heart because I watched them when I was older and could appreciate them a little bit more. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, well, if you want to watch Chronicles of Narnia, just watch.
But there's only
Those.
3 of them, and
But-
they didn't do all 6 books.
Yeah.
Greta might get to do all 6.
That's true, and that's the part that is exciting. And there's a lot more new. There's a lot of new, just like movie making technology that could be cool to see. I guess the part that makes me, 2 parts that make me nervous. One, I feel like some visual effects have really declined as of late,
Yeah.
Yes.
rather than gotten better. So I'm worried about that. And 2, and this is maybe going to be like, but I just think that there are a lot of trending, or even to, please don't hate me, like woke ideologies that are applied to Christian things that
You don't like Tallarico winning last night?
Tallarico?
James Tallarico won the Democrat primary for Texas Senate seat. I don't expect you to know who that is.
How's that do with
Well,
wokeness?
that-
What do you mean?
right over.
He takes some aspects of Christianity, and I'm not here to debate, amongst Christians whether or not it's okay for a Christian to, like he would say, it is okay for an abortion to be performed because one could interpret the Bible as, well, life starts when at your first breath, which would mean when you're not breathing in the womb. Obviously, it's a being, but I've heard him use that argument.
Why
and
are you
then-
saying he's not Christian enough, or what's the argument there?
I wouldn't. I think it's great. Like, I don't want to interpret what Danna meant potentially.
Neither do I, but I don't understand the correlation between this guy who got elected and
He's a Democrat.
Christianity.
He's a Christian Democrat. So it's like people associate Democrats with wokeness more than you associate wokeness with the other party.
definitely not Republicans. No.
Exactly. That's where I would. And I just happened. That was Nick and I were talking about it before you got here because it was in the news and we missed it when we were watching Scream 7 last night. Sorry.
Doing something
quite
way
the
better,
tangent.
yeah,
That's
than
really
watching
funny.
someone get elected. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Do you think what do you mean by woke? Let's ask that. I think it can be used in we're post woke now, so people can
Totally.
talk about it without getting
Yes,
uncomfortable.
yeah, it's worth elaborating. I think especially with Chronicles of Narnia, I think the trend now is to tame some beliefs in the Christian theology.
Okay.
So there's that, but also Chronicles of Narnia is also first and foremost, it's a children's series.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a big pull now to really bring in some extra mature, intense things that don't necessarily need to exist there. So there's an interesting dichotomy where I think Chronicles of Narnia could be taken from Aslan is this Christ-like figure that he does in Chronicles of Narnia basically what we believe happened on the cross, like died and then resurrected again.
Well, that's in line
And-
The Witch in the Wardrobe.
Yes.
She's doing Silver Chair.
Starting at Silverchair?
Isn't that the first one? Or excuse me, Magician's Nephew.
Magician's Nephew.
I am so sorry. I know
the
Chronicles of
titles right.
Narnia.
Yeah.
I'm listening to Magician's Nephew right now on my with my kids when my kids are in the car for extended periods of time. It's a short book.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just think that in some modern, like you're saying, there's a lot of beliefs right now around Christianity about being the enemy in certain ideologies.
Or being partisan, or that
Or
we're at war
partisan,
because Christians say we should be, which I don't think that's
Right,
to be
right.
clear.
And I just worry about, and media is a tool a lot of people use even to say different beliefs or different ideologies to kind of influence culture. And what I would hope is there's a lot of Jesus is on my side, Jesus is on my side right now versus Jesus isn't on a side. He's just on he's on his side, which is for loving other people. And, that could look multiple different ways. But I would worry with Chronicles of Narnia being remade kind of in the times right now that it could be, oh, Aslan is on this side. Or, oh, Aslan is on this side.
Aslan comes out wearing a MAGA hat.
Right.
Like, make Narnia great again, damn it.
Something like that. So
But we're basically saying, make Narnia great again or else. Just to be clear, Greta, that's what Danna said, not me.
To be clear. And it does need to be great again.
I did not expect. People said all of that against Disney doing it when Disney first got it. I remember because.
Did they?
Yeah.
But it turned out really well.
Okay, good. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't dislike. I own that movie. I don't dislike it.
And it could mean that this turns out really well. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I just, like I said, I'm a loyalist. I don't know. I get nervous.
Do you care about the Magicians? Have you read that book?
Mm-hmm. I've read them all.
Okay. I hadn't before now, so I had no idea what it was about. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know if this will be as exciting as Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but it's Netflix money, Greta. Go ahead and do it. I'm surprised by how far this thread of this conversation. When that movie comes out, you got to come back on the show now because I will be curious. I'm going to get somebody who's like super anti-Christian but really into Chronicles of Narnia.
We can find that.
Yeah, we'll find it. Don't worry. But they got to know. You got to like really know Christian stuff to really hate it. That's how I feel. Some would call me a Christian apostate. It's not for me to say.
Christian apostate.
You got to look at that word up because I used it 2 episodes ago and you didn't know what it meant, or no one did.
I still don't know what it means.
It means an apostate is someone who within the faith is no longer recognized by the other members of the faith because that person has gone and,
It's very specific.
Cenk Uygur refers to himself as a Muslim apostate because how he views, like he would still consider himself Muslim, but I think, I don't want to speak for Cenk Uygur, famous online newsman, but he calls himself an apostate because he's not accepted by certain factions of Islam.
But the name he puts on himself, not other people calling him that.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out how you might differ from the more majority section of your faith group.
Oh,
Yeah, at least that's how I'm using it. Do you know why I'm looking at you?
no. Oh, you want me to ask the last question of the night? All right. I get it. Look at me.
On that note.
Yeah. Who would you recommend we reach out to be on this show?
I've heard of a great gal named Stephanie.
Oh, right, 70. Yeah.
Stephanie, we're gonna show this to you when we see you at the theater again sometime. Not that we'd ever go to the bar when we're at the movie theater. That would be irresponsible. Just kidding.
Great question. We had Cam Jones.
Yes, we have.
We got to get Cam back.
Yeah, what movie though?
I don't know. It's just be really funny to have Cam back after
Maybe
we
a
just saw
historical
Bronson and
movie.
Cam at a party recently.
Have you had Kevin Broman?
We're working on
Are
it.
you-
Well,
Yeah.
hey,
Okay.
Kevin, you've gotten your rec. Now you gotta come on the show. We'll get you after North Star Film Festival.
Yeah,
He's
trying
running
to
sound
now,
for that
yeah.
because he was
I
supposed
saw.
to be on, and then he went on a cruise because his wife had a friend drop a. It's his business.
You got to make sure you cover all the details for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so this is in your episode that people will really need to know that.
Yeah.
What? So you get in the show too. You wanted to.
But you're the one editing this later, going, okay, Kyle didn't fuck up the ending, or not.
You didn't, but yeah. Okay. Well, Danna, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I think we had a great debate and a great interview. Have a good night. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN. Join us next time for another debate.
Have you had an allergy test done where they do all the scratches on your back? I had it done when I was a child. They put little needles in your back and then you have to just sit or lay on your stomach and find out what you're allergic to.
allergic to.
With
Because it'll probably react each time, huh?
yes, with a grid on your back. That's how they did it back in the 2000s. Do we need a clap?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Kyle, can you pull the... I'm staring right at my own reflection.
you don't
That's how much he doesn't want to look at himself, folks.